Okay, so the issue with being a mom, a detailing small business owner, and a content creator is that there's not enough hours in the day for me to get caught up on all of the things that I need to get caught up on. I am working through footage from December of 2024, and when I actually was going through my old footage, I saw this vehicle that we're actually doing today, and it is now June of 2026, and I realized I never edited that footage. In fact, we have another video that we did in June of 2025 where I did a ceramic coating maintenance wash. Well, we are now June 2026. We are a year and a half into this ceramic coating's life. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to try to make this either one big video or maybe a 2 or 3 part video. We're gonna share with you guys the original prep, maybe an abbreviated version of what I originally thought the video was gonna be. We actually did it when it was freezing cold outside with my detailing keg and a bunch of really great products that I'd never used before. So I still think it's worth kind of editing and putting out there versus just being like, well, it's a 2-year update. But we're also gonna share with you guys what this ceramic coating looked like, what products we use to maintain it. We're gonna share with you a year and a half later how this coating looks like. Oftentimes when I do coatings for my customers, these are daily drivers, real world durability tests to share with you guys. Customers are not babying these. They're not maintaining it the way a detailer would. So this is a great way to share with you guys how these coatings look in the real world and how, as a professional detailer, I try to get the most for my customers. So I don't know if this coating is still looking good. You know, we're almost 2 years in and I can see we have some issues. But before we get into that, I'm going to share with you guys what the prep and application process looked like for our ceramic coating. At the time, this was a brand spanking new 2024 Acura Integra. I think the customer had only had it about a month, so the paint shouldn't be in too bad of a condition, but it has been parked outside a little. You can see we've got some frost that we've got to let unthaw, but we're going to be doing a wheel face ceramic coating and a ceramic coating on the paint. The only issue I'm seeing is that we have some scuff marks on our piano trim and some water spots on our paint, which shouldn't be too difficult to clean up. Now for our rinseless wash, today we're going to actually be using a new product here in the shop. This is Optimum, their Hyperfoam No Rinse. And you'll actually see here on the side of the bottle, we have a ton of different ways that we can use this one product. You can use it as a standard car wash. You can use it for a foam cannon, a foam sprayer, a clay lubricant, a waterless wash, rinseless wash, as well as on the interior of your vehicle or in your home for glass, etc. So a ton of different uses and dilution ratios for this one product. So I'm really excited to test this out. We've got a ton of different options on the market right now when it comes to rinseless washes. So I'm excited to see how this compares with some of the other ones that I've used. And we're actually going to pre-treat our paint with this product right here. This is Preludio. They're acidic. This is actually a product that I learned about from over at Eddie Cologne's channel. He does a lot of rinseless washes inside his garage as well in the winter time. And this will actually help pre-treat and soften some of the mineral deposits that are on our paint. Typically, if I were outside, I would use something like CarPro D-Scale, which is an acid-based soap to help soften mineral deposits. So that way I don't have to chase them in more aggressive measures. So we're going to be testing this out today to see if this can help remove some of the mineral deposits on the paint. We're going to actually, this is a 1:50 dilution ratio. So for our rinseless wash, we're going to put 2 ounces of our rinseless wash into our bucket. We're also going to be using a detailing keg if we need it. But for our pre-treatment, we're going to put 1 ounce of our Preludio into the SPTA foaming electric sprayer. This is going to pre-treat before we put our rinseless wash down. I'm not 100% sure we're going to need the detailing keg for our paint because it's actually pretty clean. It's just a light layer of film and dirt on it. But we will put our Preludio all over the entire vehicle and let it soften before we come in and do our rinseless wash. This just helps break down any mineral deposits on the paint. You're gonna rinse, and you don't want to squeeze all of the rinseless wash out. You want to keep that solution in there, but you don't need it to be like this. So just squeeze it until you have kind of a steady stream coming out of it like that. And then you should have enough solution to safely work. did have a little bit more grit on that paint, then I want to chase with our paint correction step. This paint is in pretty pristine condition. So what we're gonna do is just do a quick dry, and then we're gonna rinse again, just real quick. And we're going to do our chemical decon and our clay tile treatment. But I can still see a little bit of solids on the surface that if I were to come in with my clay tile, it would probably do a little bit of damage on this paint. If I could use something like a C6 at polish versus an actual abrasive polish to prep for our coating, that would be ideal because that's way less aggressive on our paint, and I can just very quickly get it done, like, 30 minutes versus having to spend a little bit more time with our paint enhancement. Just do a quick mop. Now we still have to deal with tires and wheels. That's probably gonna take us about 20 minutes max once we get that to that step. This paint is actually really smooth, so thankfully we don't have any etching, but I just want to make sure that we have a thoroughly decontaminated panel. We have some rinseless wash right here. I know, I just got everything all nice and clean. This is just giving us a little bit of lubrication. Clay tile can do some marring if you don't have proper lubrication, but this paint is practically perfect. And I want to show you guys, when we're all done, the condition of our paint to see just how much marring we do with this process. For those of you that are saying, Chelsea, this isn't safe on paint, we're going to prove it. We have our clay towel soaking in our rinseless solution, and because our paint honestly isn't that bad, we're not going to soak it all over the vehicle with our iron remover and let it sit and dwell. This is just going to give us a little bit of lubrication, help break any sort of chemical bond should there be rail dust. Really, there's not. More than anything, this is just overkill inefficiency. You can see just how much lubrication we have between our clay towel and our pre-spray, as well as our iron remover. And I am not scrubbing aggressively. I am just letting the clay towel glide over the surface. I can hear ever so slight, a little bit of grit, certain surfaces. So this is just a good step to incorporate.
Now we're not going super heavy with our iron remover, so at this point, a bulk of the residue that's going to be left on the panel is our rinseless wash. We're going to finish our decontamination and then get everything dry. Now, if you're nervous, you can do a panel prep wipe, but what we're going to actually be doing is using C6 at polish. This actually helps emulsify any sort of surfactants on the surface, and it will help swell the paint temporarily to help it receive the ceramic coating. So it's like a panel prep wipe and a polish in one.
So that took 20 minutes. We kept that in real time. Obviously, we will edit it for your entertainment purposes. But we did a wash, chemical decon, clay towel treatment. The true test, we're gonna get a light and we're gonna shine it on the paint to see just how badly we damaged this paint. Insert sarcasm. So here is our hood after doing our rinseless wash, chemical decon, clay towel treatment. I don't see any sort of marring on the paint. We don't see any mineral deposits, so our Peludio did a great job at softening the mineral deposits to safely clean them. And we were able to prep for our ceramic coating safely and effectively. I didn't need a hose and water. I didn't make a ton of mess on my garage floor. We just have some minimal puddling that I can mop up. Even on our lower panels, where normally that's where more marring is done by your clay towel, I can see our paint is pristine. This Acura has very impressive paint condition. The customer has even said he's taken it through the automatic car wash a few times, but I don't have a ton of correction that I have to do at this point. Maybe just our piano trim pieces, our B-pillars. More than anything, I want to make sure we have no residue left behind on the paint. So what we're going to actually use is C6 at polish. That will clean the paint, temporarily swell the paint to allow the ceramic coating to bond better with the clear coat, and it will help it last longer for the customer. So I think that's going to be the perfect polish in this scenario, but we'll get these areas kind of dialed in for the customer. Make sure we have streak-free glass, because I can see a little bit of residue left behind, but I'm not upset about that. We could even use something like a panel prep wipe just to kind of clean it a little bit more thoroughly, or for all intents purposes, do a second rinseless wash with nothing in it, just to kind of remove this residue. But we still need to do our tires, wheels, and wheel wells. That should take us about 20-25 minutes to finish up, but 20 minutes to do our paint, chemical decon, clay tile treatment, dry everything, another 20 minutes. So in under an hour, we can get this vehicle prepped for our ceramic coating. That actually is a little bit faster than if you were to be done with a contact wash method. So you can work safely and more efficiently sometimes with a rinseless wash. For those of you that are wanting to stay busy in the winter with detailing, maybe you're just starting out and you're nervous about winter detailing, this is how I handle being able to prep my customers' vehicles in the winter time and still give them exceptional results without compromising on quality.
Now, when it comes to cleaning tires and wheels in the winter, a detailing keg or something like a Fantic sprayer are one of my favorite ways to clean them. This gives you a little bit more force to help you rinse things more effectively, and also just helps push through some of the brake dust and grime that can be on your tires and wheels. We're using Vonix Delete for our tires, and then Sudslab Tire and Rim Cleaner for our wheels. We're using wheel woolies that have been soaking in our rinseless wash. This is just going to give us more cleaning capabilities and be a little bit more gentle on our wheels. And then a soft face green brush to clean our wheel surfaces. Now, the customer wanted me to apply a wheel coating to our wheel faces. We're not taking the wheels off of the tires, so we're just going to do what we can reach with our hand. This will make maintenance a ton easier for the customer. And for those of you that wonder, are wheel coatings actually going to last? Make sure you keep watching this series, because we're going to share with you guys an update on this wheel coating at 1.5 years that I think is going to surprise you. But when it comes to making maintenance easier for wheels, wheel coatings are a great thing to put on your wheels, and they're a lot easier than people think. You don't necessarily need to remove the wheels. You don't need to polish them. If in their good condition like this, you can typically just clean, make everything dry, do a panel prep wipe, and then apply your coating. I'm going to share with you guys just how quickly and easily you can apply ceramic coatings to your wheels in just a minute. But we got everything dialed in. Now our paint and our wheels are cleaned, ready to go. We're going to go ahead now and apply our C6 app polish to prep our paint for the ceramic coating. Now, C6 app is not your typical polish. It's not going to do a ton of correction. And you actually want to use a small throw polisher when working with this polish, so that way you don't overwork it. We're also using the red jeweling waffle pad, and we're doing 1 or 2 quick passes at a moderate arm speed. So this is going to be a very quick process. This is going to remove any residue from our glass and our paint, and it's going to allow the ceramic coating to bond better with the paint. Because we do need some correction on our piano trim pieces, we're going to use a blue foam pad as well as Koshemi F601. That's going to remove the swirls and scratches, but we might actually induce damage of our own from our pad or the polish. So to refine it, we're going to come in with a white foam pad in Optimum Hyper Polish, and that's just going to leave behind a crystal clear finish. Basically, we have now perfected all surfaces of this vehicle, and it's prepped and ready for our coating. After doing our rinseless wash and our chemical decon, we had a good bit of residue on our paint and glass. Now with this polish, you can do the entire vehicle before you come back and remove it. You can actually let it haze up, and it's actually really easy to remove all of that polish residue. And what's left behind is streak-free paint and glass. Gone is our residue, and now our panel is prepped. Now, one of my favorite ceramics to apply is the McKee's 37, their 5-year graphene ceramic coating. It's one of my favorites here at the shop, and I've done a ton of videos working with this product. So we're not going to go into too much length with this video, but if you want a closer look at this coating, I'll put a dedicated video for you guys in the video description box down below. But basically, this is going to be a rainbowing coating. Not a heavy rainbow, but a good bit of rainbowing. And I like to work with it 2 sections at a time before we come in and level. Typically, you're letting it sit on there for 1 to 2 minutes based on the humidity and the temperature that you're working in. It's super easy to work with. You can see really nice rainbowing, and when you get to about 50% of that rainbow has flashed off, then you come in with 2 towels and level. It's not grabby, it's not difficult to work with, and when you're done leveling, you feel really nice slickness. Now, being a graphene coating, this is going to give us a little bit more chemical resistance and also help reduce the issue with water spotting issues. Because graphene by nature gives us taller, bigger beads, when that water is on your hood, it has a better chance of falling off, therefore reducing the risk of water spotting issues. Now, we're going to go ahead and apply this to the entire vehicle, let it sit 6 hours before we release it to the customer. But while that's curing, we're going to go ahead and apply our wheel coating. Even though we cleaned everything thoroughly and dried it, I still want to do a panel prep wipe just to make sure there's no residue on our wheel faces. So once everything has been prepped, now we're going to apply the McKee 37, their Graphene Wheel Coating. Now, I prefer to use dedicated wheel coatings for wheels because I do find that they are a little bit more tenacious, and there are certain ones that are better than others. I've tested many over the years, and some have really disappointed me with how long they last. Typically, if I see 6 to 12 months out of a wheel coating, I'm happy with that. I was actually really surprised what I saw at 1.5 years. So just make sure you guys keep watching this series. I hate to tease you, but seriously, there's some pretty interesting information that you might learn at the end of this video with the update on this coating. But this is actually super easy to apply. Basically, work it into whatever surface of the wheel you want to have easier maintenance with. Let it rainbow, sit on there for about 1 minute or 2, and then come in with 2 towels and level. Same as you would with your paint. But basically now we've given us more chemical resistance, more hydrophobics, and easier maintenance. The next time the customer cleans it, he doesn't even necessarily need chemicals or brushes. He can just clean it with soapy water and a wash mitt. Once we're done applying all of our coatings, we're going to inspect with our softbox light just to make sure we have no high spots. Now we can actually finish up on the interior. We didn't have a ton of dirt, but we do have a little bit of body oils on our seats. So we're going to use Polestar and a foaming pump sprayer to just quickly clean all of our leather, make sure there's no body oils on our surfaces. And once everything is clean, then we're going to be working in Duraslick, their Leather Coat Max. This is a 6 to 12 month ceramic sealant that you can apply to help give you some hydrophobic protection as well as UV protection. And it's also going to help prevent blue jean staining and sunscreen staining. Typically, you can just use a rinseless wash or even just a damp towel to wipe your leather up and get everything clean. You don't necessarily need to clean with aggressive cleaners. And you can see we leave behind a nice satin finish. It does alter the look ever so slightly, but not to the point where it's greasy, slippery, or shiny. You can just see a nice satin appearance afterwards where we can clearly see protection has been added. And now the customer can have easier maintenance on his interior. Considering we got graphene on the wheels and on our paint, we're going to put graphene on our tires as well. This is Turtle Wax's their Graphene Tire Shine. Smells fantastic, looks great. Now we're going to pull everything out and we're going to examine it in the sunlight. Make sure we have no high spots and that we have a beautifully cleaned and protected brand new Acura. Interior wise, it was actually pretty easy. We did a quick vacuum, cleaned all of our plastics and leather with Kushemi Polestar, and then applied our Duraslick Leather Coat Max to our leather. I'm curious to know from you guys, do you like a look like this on leather or not? Let me know in the comment section down below. But on the exterior, despite freezing cold temperatures, we were able to do a rinseless wash as well as our decontamination, used our C6 app polish to prep our paint, and then applied our McKee 37 graphene coating to the paint and their wheel coating to our wheels. Inside and out, we've been able to clean and protect this brand new vehicle to help preserve the finish and make maintenance easier for this customer. Hopefully, we're going to see this vehicle back in 6 months to share with you guys an update on how this coating is performing. But all in all, everything turned out great.
So that's a wrap for our 2025 Acura Integra. If you guys have any questions about the processes that we used, any of the products that we used in this detail, let me know your questions in the comment section down below. We'll put the links to everything that we used for those of you that want to try them out for yourselves, as well as any coupon codes or affiliate links that we have But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and stay tuned for any future videos that we have coming out. But we will see you guys in the very next detail. I'm gonna go inside because it's absolutely freezing outside. Thank God for a garage.